A lot of people ask us at Trade Ideas, how can your AI virtual trading assistant help me? Well, the answer is simple. Um, there's about 9,000 symbols in the market each day that are trading, and how do you know which ones to focus on? Well, that's really where AI technology is coming into play, no matter what's going on in the world, whether it's finance, medical, medicine, what have you. The AI and the human need to work together. It's a symbiotic relationship. And in our case, the virtual trading assistant we call Holly gave us an indication today that this RVSN might be in play and suggested a $13.24 entry. Over here's the daily chart. You can see for the last week, this stock has been in play and it did bounce off of my favorite 10-day moving average right there. So it bounced and found support at the right spot. But getting back to the concept of AI, the machine and the AI technology is great to bring the best information to the surface and curate the best of the best, the cream of the crop, if you will. So if I can get 10 or 12 ideas, or maybe even 6 or 8 every day in real time without having to look for them or scan for them or configure them myself, that is of tremendous value. But I want to suggest and submit to you that once the trade is made, the value of the AI kind of diminishes. There's a lot of nuances in certain areas that we have to pay attention to that really only the human brain can understand the nuances of and process that information in real time and make the best decisions accordingly for the exit. So once again, it's a human and machine relationship. The AI brings us the ideas and we take it from there. So in this case, I want to show you how the human brain would be best suited to manage some of these ideas that are coming up in real time. And in this case, we'll use RVSN again. The entry was down here at 13.24. It blew way through 16 in the mid 16s. I want to suggest another thing. Make sure that when you've got this much airspace between that rising 10 SMA and the current price, that's a lot of airspace. That's a big air pocket. This is when you want to take some off the table. You want to pay yourself at these moments because sometimes those moments don't last. They're fleeting moments and they pull back. But guess where they pull back to? My favorite 10 candle moving average. That's 10 15-minute candles averaged in a simple moving average. And that line usually holds true. Notice that some of these trades go below that line, but this is where I'm going to talk about the actual signal. At what point do we decide we can't ride the momentum anymore and we need to pay ourselves? Well, typically speaking, we're already a couple hours away from close. We're well after lunchtime. And day traders are starting to watch each other and say, well, is it going to get better than this or is it going to go lower? And if it goes lower, I need to get out now and lock in my profits. So it's a collective psychological behavior that we're witnessing here. The only way I can quantify it is to say the first candle that closes, and this last candle did in fact close below the 10 SMA. Even though the next candle has some green in it, you can see the wick popped up and got thrown back down. There we go again. So this is showing that there's some ambivalence. The traders want to take profits, but the greed factor in them wants to stay in. So I like to use the first trading closing candle on a 15-minute chart and basically assume that the movie theater is on fire and you quietly get up and head for the exits before anybody else does. And that has usually worked well for me in the past. Will the trade move higher at the close? It might, but generally speaking, it hasn't for me in my experience. So I like to just take what I'm given and move on. So hopefully that trade management skill helps you. But more importantly, remember that you have to be a premium subscriber at Trade Ideas to get these AI generated calls